friends, welcome back to Brilliant Blue Reviews. My name is Heather and I have my daughter Megan with me here today.
Hi.
Because we went to see the touring Broadway production of Dirty Dancing, the musical,
Yes.
right, last night at the Broadway Theater in St. Paul. And I wanted to include Megan in this one because not only did she go to the show with me, but she has never seen Dirty Dancing, the movie.
Yeah.
So, and Megan is a pretty accomplished and frequent theater participant goer. I'm going to let her go first and talk about just like the show as a show. Mm-hmm. And then I will come back and include my thoughts of it compared to the movie, which obviously was extremely popular. And I'm sure 99.99% of the people that were at the show last night were there because they love the movie so much, as they made evident in their enthusiasm over the show. One little thing we want to tell you that was really kind of just a fun surprise is a guy came out, somebody from the Broadway, I think.
Yeah, he was like
artistic director or something.
Like not the director of the show, but the director of the theater.
Yeah.
Or like one of the managers.
And he came out and was making like kind of a couple of announcements and stuff. And he pointed out to us that the woman, I didn't catch her name, did you?
I also didn't catch her name.
The woman who wrote the movie, who actually wrote the script, was at the show last night, sitting just a little ways away from us down in the orchestra level, and she waved and everybody cheered. Like we could see her. She was right there and everybody was like ecstatic she was there. And then during intermission, somebody who was sitting near us said, "Hey, she's signing programs if you want to go over there and get her autograph." And I'm like, no, I'm going to leave the poor woman alone. And,
she probably had to sign a million autographs.
That's probably like all she did. I hope she didn't have to go to the bathroom because she probably just signed autographs through the entire intermission.
The intermission was longer than 15 minutes. It was no less than 20 or 25. And
it went by so...
But, like, this probably isn't true, but I would almost guess that they had to extend the intermission because too many people were in line to
get autographs
from the lady.
Yes, that's true. The Broadway Theater, first of all, in St. Paul, we've been there before. If you want to go back and watch this video where I went there a year ago to see Come From Away, we did recently also see Come From Away again for me, but the first time for Megan. We went to it at the Guthrie Theater. I did not make a review of that video of that experience because I had seen it a year before and I'd already talked about the show.
It's too recent.
Yeah. The Broadway is a very pretty theater. They do also get touring Broadway stuff independent of the Orpheum Theater in Minneapolis, where a lot of the other touring Broadway productions goes, and they get different ones. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting.
There's a good variety of shows for us to see in the cities, which is one of the reasons why we're so cultured in theater and knowing how those theaters put on their shows and like how they differ between theaters.
Right. This was a touring Broadway production, so it had a professional Broadway cast. One thing that we did note that we were talking about when we left is that there were definitely some of the performers were there for their voice and some of the performers were there for their dancing skills. Mm-hmm. You did not see the same people dancing and singing. For example, Johnny, who was Patrick Swayze's character in the movie, and Baby, who was Jennifer Grey's character in the movie, did not sing at all.
Johnny sang like 2 sentences in one song early on, and that was it.
Baby did not
sing any.
Baby didn't sing at all. So obviously those performers were in this show specifically for what they looked like and their dancing skills.
They looked very, very close to the original actors.
Yeah, they did. Especially her.
Yeah.
Then there were a lot of other dancers because the whole like entertainment staff of Kellerman's. And then there were actually, would you say it was basically Billy?
Yeah, I think that Billy, there were characters named Billy and Elizabeth, which people who saw the movie might know that. I don't know.
Elizabeth, to my memory, was not a character in the movie.
So yeah, there were these characters, Billy and Elizabeth, and they basically were the voices of the show.
Yeah.
The ensemble sang, but
they were the only ones that really had
sang.
They were the only ones that really had
real songs
that they sang. Like, and these were solos. I will tell you this. Their solos were not anything from the movie. So these were added to the show so that there would be singing, I guess.
So they could call it a musical?
Yeah, all the rest of the music in the show was live, played by an orchestra. Mm-hmm. But the orchestra was right there in front of us. We were like in the third row?
Yeah.
We were very close.
Oh, Tito. There was a character named Tito. He was like an entertainment host. He sang.
Yes. But the live orchestra played all the songs, most of which were from the movie. Well-known songs from 1963 when the movie takes place. What did you think of the show just as a musical theater production that you'd never seen before and didn't have any idea going into it?
So I had like zero information. I had to ask Mom like in the 3 minutes before the curtain came up.
Yeah, we got in there at the very last minute.
Hey, what is this even about? What's the premise? So I did not know anything. I literally just knew that something about dancing, and at the end, Patrick Swayze lifts her up. That's it. That's all I knew.
That's all she knew. Okay. We got in there very late. It was raining when we got to the theater, and we had trouble. We couldn't find a place to park. All of downtown St. Paul was under construction.
Yeah.
We had a lot of difficulties, so we literally got into our seats and it started.
Yeah.
Basically. And so
I was trying to
quick look at the program.
Like any details in there I can use.
But there was no synopsis or order of songs in the program. Mm-hmm. There's nothing.
Nothing.
So you just are watching it just like you would the movie, really, where you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
I had to quick explain to her okay, back in the 60s there were these resorts where people went upstate New York and Massachusetts and stuff and spend weeks or the whole summer there with their family, and they had all these activities, and one of the activities would be dance lessons. Okay, so that's the basic premise, and I was trying to tell her this really fast as the show was starting, so she at least had some kind of basis of what was happening.
It's one of those things I don't know exactly how to rate it, because I did have fun and I enjoyed it, but I also don't think it was the most well done production, and I have a few different things to say about that. So the story was fun. I think I would really like the movie, and I will definitely be watching the movie soon now. So with it being a touring Broadway show, obviously not on Broadway, but I have been in a touring production, and it is hard. It's really difficult to have to adapt to a new space every single night and bring in all of your sets and all of your props. I'm sure the actors were exhausted.
Well, not to mention all the dancing that they had to do. It looked like an exhausting show to perform.
And all the dancing, really full body dancing. But with that being said, these sets to me were very impressive. They had a lot of components to them, but this was the first show I've seen in a while that had legitimate scene changes where the whole set is moved off or back on, and there are different parts that distinctly show separate rooms and areas. There was a bed, there was a dining room, stuff like that, and you could tell which scene was which.
Sometimes it was supposed to be outside, sometimes it was supposed to be inside. They used the back a lot to show images to kind of put you in the scene of where you were supposed to be. Are you at the edge of the lake? Are you inside? Stuff like that.
And so they had these big wooden pieces that came on and off. I think they were actually hanging from the ceiling, a catwalk set up there that they could use, and they could also take that away. And what Mom is saying with the psych, they had just absolutely gorgeous, technically developed backdrops that moved and changed as you looked at them. The water moved.
Yeah.
It was really cool, and those were absolutely gorgeous, and I really loved those. And I think that the set design overall was very good. It
had a lot of moving pieces.
It had a lot of moving pieces.
I mean, stuff had to swing in and turn and
But even never seeing the movie and not knowing what this place was, I got a really good sense of how Kellerman's was set up and how it was supposed to feel. It felt like a ski resort cabin.
Yeah.
And I think that came across really well in the sets. The dancing was really good. And the singing was really good. But like we said already, those did not intersect. And so to me, it didn't actually feel like much of a musical. It did not have the same structure as a musical where you have the I Want song, the ballad. I've studied musical theater a lot, and it did not follow the usual structure of a typical musical theater production.
That's a very good point. It really was just a musical theater not even an interpretation. It was a copy. It was a straight up copy of the movie.
Yeah. But I even asked Mom, like, is this going to be like Mamma Mia? Is it a musical that is made up of songs, like popular songs that already exist? And she said, kind of. But if it was or wasn't, I couldn't really tell. None of the songs really stood out. I don't think that it was difficult to understand them. They weren't very distinct. It really felt like it was just to provide a backdrop for the dancing.
Yeah. I did think of something last night too when I went to post it on my Instagram story. There were songs in the movie that were not in the show.
Yeah,
one
I noticed
specifically.
That on your Instagram story.
She's Like the Wind. Well, they couldn't include that. It was sung by Patrick Swayze, and he's passed away. So
wait, why couldn't the guy who sang it?
I don't think it wouldn't have sounded like the actor.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know, but they just like eliminated that song and the scene that it goes with it entirely. Mm-hmm. So that wasn't in there. Megan made a comment afterwards when we were walking back to the car. She said it felt kind of like a show on a cruise ship.
It did.
And I know what she means. If you go to live, especially not Disney. Disney's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Okay? But the entertainment, I just went on a Royal Caribbean cruise a month ago. Okay, with my son Ben. And we went to the shows. And yeah, sometimes they're not bad. Sometimes you're like,
waiting for it to end.
Okay.
No, this one, like, I wasn't waiting for it to end. It wasn't bad.
It was very entertaining.
It was entertaining, but it did feel like it felt less than the quality we're used to seeing in theaters in Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Especially for touring production.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, most of the touring production. I mean, like, Lion King is a touring production. You never.
Again, that's Disney.
Okay, whatever. Well, anyway. So, back to there being, like, dancing and singing. I feel like those are really the only two components, and the acting was
kind of
left a little something to be desired.
You said it was stiff.
It was stiff. The delivery was uninspired. And I don't mean these things to sound really mean, because it was still a good show. It just wasn't, like, the greatest show. And there was nothing that really caught my attention. I wouldn't, like, be able to pick out, like, oh, I think this actor did really well. Or people immediately gave a standing ovation at the end, and that's great. I'm sure that the actors really appreciated that, but that wasn't a show I would have personally given a standing ovation for. They didn't do anything that stuck out to me. It was just kind of average.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And the other thing I think, too, is this is not a show where, like, you have a standout musical number that's so moving and, like, it's not like Hamilton or Les Miserables, where you've got these songs in your head that, you know, like, haunt you for days afterwards or anything like that, or, like, are so catchy.
The only song in my head afterwards was the Time of Our Lives one, which, like,
is at the end.
Gets stuck in my head anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's just a song that exists. I mean, I know people associate it with the movie, but I don't know, is it originally from the movie, or was it just a song they stuck in? Does anybody know?
I don't know. It might have been written for the movie.
But anyway, like,
here's my additional thoughts based on someone who did grow up with the movie, who saw the movie when it first came out in theaters and has seen it probably umpteen times since, okay? I pretty much had, like, every line in the whole show memorized. There are some additional scenes thrown in that we interpreted to be giving space to the actors for set and costume changes.
Yeah.
There were some pretty obvious moments where they were talking about this whole thing with going to the Freedom Riders. That was not in the movie.
Yeah.
And there were additional characters, like the character of Elizabeth and this kind of, like,
gangly manager boy.
No, Neil was in the movie.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. I don't know, just like kind of some additional subplot that was not in the movie.
Yeah.
That I was kind of like, why is this in here?
To me, it felt like it did contribute in a roundabout way to Baby's character. But
yes, that's true. And
not, like, directly.
Yeah, like her standing up for what you believe in and what you think is right kind of concept and stuff like that. That's true. Otherwise, though, basically a straight up copy of the movie. So it's literally just take Dirty Dancing the movie and just stick it on a stage The costumes were the same. Yeah. Everything they said was the same. The songs were the same, except for these couple of exceptions that we said. The scenes were the same. Everything is the same. Yeah. So if you like the movie, you'll probably like the show. But I will say, this was yet another example for me of when they make a Broadway show out of a movie, I like the movie better. For example, Waitress, movie's better. Beetlejuice, movie's better.
Please see Waitress. Stop seeing the Broadway show before
watch
you see
the movie.
Watch
the movie was first.
The one song that's in the movie isn't even in the Broadway show.
She intended it to be a movie. She wrote and then died, the poor woman, okay? She wanted this to be a movie. I mean, the Broadway show is great. I do like Waitress.
It's good, but like all of these to me, I think that's one problem I have with the show, or it doesn't like stand out to me. All of these things where they make a Broadway show off of the movie.
Back to the Future.
The movie is better.
Yeah.
The play most of the time is all right, but to me they are always very separate stories.
Yeah.
With Dirty Dancing, the musical being a direct copy of the movie, it does not have its own life as its own story. Yeah. And so it just feels like a copy. And I think even without seeing the movie first, Mom specifically wanted me to not watch the movie first so that I could
I knew this would happen.
But even without having seen the movie, I still think I could say I will like the movie better.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't even know anything about the movie. That's how it is.
You lose a lot of depth.
Yeah.
Depth of emotion and character development and stuff like that in the theater in these ones that are made off of a movie. Now, I was talking to a friend on the phone this morning and they asked me, are there some where there is a movie and a play, like where the play came first and you like that better or something?
Yes.
And I said, yes. I gave the example of Les Miserables. Mm-hmm. I've seen the touring Broadway production of Les Miserables. I think I've seen Les Miserables theatrically more than once.
You've seen it at least two or three times. Yeah.
And
I've seen it twice.
And I loved it.
The musical is amazing.
The play is better. There's multiple movie adaptations. The one with Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman.
And the guy from Fantastic Beasts and
is Eddie Redmayne.
And Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah. I do think that movie is very good. What's another one?
The other one. I don't know. There's another one. It's worse.
If the play came first, the play is... I guess
it's whatever comes first.
It's whatever comes first.
Yeah.
You know, and that would probably go for like people who argue like, is the book better than the movie?
Yeah.
If they read the book first, they're probably going to like the book first. Yeah. And there's more depth in a book than you can put in a movie. There's more depth in a movie than you can put in a play.
People also, I mean, I don't think this is an accurate opinion, but people tend to not take musical theater very seriously. And
it's so hard, though.
No, like, it's all, like, glitzy, glammy stuff, you know, and it's supposed to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
And so in some cases, that might be, like, the mindset people go in with, whereas, like, Mom said, like, you can get more character depth out of a movie.
I reviewed on this channel, I'll link it up there, Hamilton, the film, okay? Yes. And Megan just went to see Hadestown,
the film version.
But what these films was simply they filmed the musical on Broadway.
With the original
Broadway cast. And they just shot it from all angles and everything so you could get up really close into people's faces and, you know, and
see things you can't
necessarily see from where you're sitting in the audience. And maybe catch things that you couldn't catch and stuff.
Yes.
And that I'm fine with. Because
those are really well
they're
done.
Actually very well done, and they give, I think, additional access to people who maybe can't afford to go to the theater, or maybe can't afford to
fly to New York
a city that they would never get to see something like that otherwise. And so I actually don't have any problem with that at all, because I think those productions are really well done. And it was actually a joy for me. I mean, we saw Hamilton, the touring Broadway production at the Orpheum in Minneapolis, and I cried.
Yeah, you were really
I was really moved and I'm very emotional. And Megan's seen it 3 times.
Yeah, I think
she's seen it 3 times. I was still very excited to get to see the cinema version of it, because I was able to kind of relax in the movie theater setting, you know, with my popcorn or whatever, and also see it in the original cast with Lin-Manuel Miranda playing Hamilton, and who's the guy who played King George? Leslie Odom Jr. playing Burr. Jonathan Graff playing King George. Oh my gosh. You know, he's so great. And I would never ever gotten to see that before, because I didn't get to go to the original Broadway production. And like Megan got to go see Hadestown. She was trying to decide if she wants to see Hadestown, the touring Broadway production, when it's coming around to the Twin Cities Metro next year. And so this was kind of like, she wanted to see if she would like the show.
Right, yeah, because it's much more expensive to go to the show than the movie.
To go to a movie, yeah.
And the movie was way more low stakes.
I liked it fine. I mean, those people are working so hard.
Yeah.
The dancing is very physical and obviously very demanding of their bodies. And so I give major kudos to the performers and everything, and the production quality is very good.
Yeah,
I mean, the sets, the lighting, the orchestra, the costumes.
Actually, there were I wanted to say this earlier. This comes with being a touring show and not having enough time to adjust to the space and work out issues before you put on the show. There were quite a few little oopsies.
Oh, I saw that too.
There was one time like a spotlight didn't come on, and so the stage was dark when it shouldn't have been. There were a lot of people tripped. A lot of people like lost their balance or things like that.
Things like that, especially at the wings.
Especially
when they were going on and off. Now that's something that we notice.
Right, but other people might not notice
Other people might not notice that, but we stuff like that stands out to us because we've been performers, and so
we've seen
we know what that's we know what that's like when you mess up.
You have an oopsie.
When you're like, oh shoot,
it was not bad enough to bother us at all. Like, it was fine. It was like, oh, oops, I think that wasn't supposed to happen, and then you move on. Right. But it still happened,
and so you catch it.
Yeah.
And she's definitely right. That's not something that you would see on Broadway, for example.
Yeah.
Because they're putting on this show for weeks or months on end, and they have like all the time in the world to perfect it.
I have seen it at the Guthrie though. Like, a couple little things just are out of place, or like you miss a step. It happens. It just happened like a good handful of times in this production.
I mean, that's something about live theater. These are real people doing that right in front of you right now. They might have had a bad day.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't feel good.
No.
Maybe they didn't get it.
Maybe their feet hurt. Maybe they didn't
dinner before they had to perform.
Maybe
whatever.
They're severely dehydrated or exhausted.
Right.
They didn't sleep last night. Like,
there's no retake. Okay,
No.
They can't reshoot it and make it perfect for you like you would in a movie.
Yeah.
And so that's something to always keep in mind.
That is one thing they could do with Hamilton and Hadestown, was they edited together multiple performances so that there weren't mistakes.
Was seamless.
Yeah. But again, that's like a different form of media overall.
Right. I still highly value the live theatrical performance because it's real people out there doing it right now.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, this sounds gross, but like when you can see them spit when they're enunciating, and you can see the sweat on their brow, and you can see that
it's a visible effort, and it's really impressive to see how hard they're working in real time.
Right. So I don't think we'd ever not go to live.
No, I love live theater.
Yeah, we love live theater.
It's so unique.
If you've seen Dirty Dancing possibly in another city on the tour, or if you've seen the original on Broadway, let us know in the comments down below what you thought of it and how you liked it. I still like the movie much better. I'm glad I had Megan go to the play first, so she wasn't,
too influenced by the movie.
Right.
I'm not terribly disappointed, but now I'll go watch the movie.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have a really good experience with that.
Right. So thank you for taking the time to watch this review. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up if you did. And be sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of my other upcoming Theatrical Reviews. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.